Hello, you're watching VNA News and now highlights.
Transport sector deploys major tasks for 2016. Central Bank applies new exchange rate mechanism. Quang Nam welcomes 46,000 tourists during New Year holidays.
The transport sector organized a conference in Hanoi on January 4th to deploy tasks for 2016. Prime Minister Nguyen Tân Dung attended the event.
A report released at the conference shows that over the past 5 years, Vietnam's infrastructure system has been improved remarkably, with a range of major and modern projects have been put into use, such as expressways linking Hanoi and Thái Nguyên and Lào Cai provinces, Hải Phòng City and Nội Bài Airport's Terminal 2. Traffic congestions in the capital city of Hanoi and the southern largest economic hub of Ho Chi Minh City have been eased, while the numbers of traffic accidents and casualties have continuously dropped. Transport infrastructure development has been incorporated with the restructuring of state-owned enterprises and creating favorable conditions for businesses. For 2016, the transport sector plans to tighten the management of transportation business and control the loading capacity of vehicles. It will also make greater efforts to complete major projects as scheduled, with a combined capital of almost 81 trillion dong, and reduce the number of traffic accidents and casualties in all provinces and cities by between 5 to 10%.
National Assembly deputies of different generations from southern localities gathered in Ho Chi Minh City on January 4th to celebrate the 70th anniversary of Vietnam's first general elections.
At the function, participants who were elected to the legislature from the 1st to the 13th tenure recalled the important historical event of the first general elections. In response to the call of President Ho Chi Minh on January 6, 1946, the Vietnamese people went to the polls to elect the country's first National Assembly. This important event went to history of Vietnam, marking a great stride in terms of democratic institution and ushering in a new development chapter of the nation. Addressing the event, Politburo member Lê Thanh Hải, who is in charge of the Municipal Party Committee, spoke highly of and thanked the city's National Assembly deputy delegation for their contributions to the city's development. He also urged the city's National Assembly deputy delegation to continue reforming its operations so as to improve its work effectiveness and fulfill the assigned tasks.
11 best initiatives selected from the Initiatives for Community contest have been awarded for their feasibility. More details in the following report. 5 months after the launching, the organizers received 177 initiatives from individuals and organizations across the nation. These initiatives cover a wide range of issues from education, health, tourism, transport, to technology, environmental protection, and voluntary activities. The first prize went to the Vietnam Young Physicians Association, which has a tentative program to support patients. Addressing the ceremony in Hanoi on January the 4th, President of the Vietnam Fatherland Front Central Committee Nguyễn Thiện Nhân spoke highly of the contest's influence on all aspects of social life. The contest not only honors scientific achievements, but also stirs up the creativeness among people from all walks of life, particularly the youth, he added. From January 4th, 2016, the State Bank of Vietnam will implement a new exchange rate mechanism for Vietnam dong and US dollar, replacing the average interbank exchange rate. The highlight of this adjustment is that the rate is subjected to daily changes.
From now on, the State Bank will provide a daily central exchange rate, serving as a basis for credit agencies and branches of foreign banks to conduct business activities, supply foreign exchange services, and set the exchange rate. On January 4th, the central exchange rate was set at 21,896 Vietnam dong per dollar, 6 Vietnam dong higher than the average interbank rate. meaning banks can exchange the US dollar at the floor price of 21,239 Vietnam dong and the ceiling price of 21,553 Vietnam dong. According to the State Bank of Vietnam, the new exchange rate mechanism will allow flexible reactions to developments on the world and domestic markets. Moreover, the bank will also apply new monetary policies to ensure a stable foreign exchange market, thus helping ensure the macroeconomy.
Experts have forecast that the new wave of foreign direct investment will be poured into Vietnam in 2016 and following years, thanks to the formation of the ASEAN Economic Community and the signing of the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement.
Accordingly, Vietnam expects to attract from 24 to 26 billion US dollars in FDI this year, while the amount of disbursed investment is likely to reach 15 to 16 billion dollars. Data from the General Statistics Office showed that the flow of FDI registered in Vietnam saw a year-on-year increase of 12.5% in 2015 to $22.76 billion. Up to 2,013 projects with $15.58 billion were licensed in 2015, up 26.8% in terms of the number of projects, but down 0.4% in terms of capital over the previous year. Meanwhile, 814 existing projects were also allowed to increase their capital by $7.18 billion. During the reviewed period, FDI disbursement reached an estimated $14.5 billion, surging 17.4% year-on-year. The manufacturing and processing sector attracted the lion's share of FDI at $15.23 billion, accounting for about 67% of the nation's FDI. Ho Chi Minh City beat 48 cities and provinces to become the most attractive destination for foreign investors. The city lured more than $2.81 billion, making up 18% of the total FDI registered in the country. Among 58 countries and territories that have invested in Vietnam, the Republic of Korea is the largest source of FDI with $2.68 billion, accounting for 17.2% of the total new capital.
Vietnam's retail sales of goods and services rose 9.5% this year, the largest increase since 2011, as low inflation and strong economic growth bolstered consumer confidence. More details coming up next.
Data from the General Statistics Office revealed that sales were estimated at 3,242 trillion Vietnam dong, equivalent to 148 billion US dollars. The office attributed the significant rise in 2015 to the country's 0.63% CPI year-on-year rise, the lowest increase in the past 14 years. The low CPI increase meant stable prices for several essential products and that manufacturers and suppliers could sell their products without raising prices, which encouraged consumption. Retail sales growth was also triggered by an increasing number of newly opened supermarkets and convenience stores throughout the country, enhancing competition among product suppliers. According to the office, retail sales of goods, which account for 76% of the total sales, reached 112 billion US dollars, up 11% from last year. Revenue in some sectors saw a handsome increase. Food and foodstuffs saw an increase of 15%, household appliances rose 15%, garments and textiles up 13%, and transport services are estimated to increase 10%. Retail sales of accommodation, restaurant and catering services reached 17 billion US dollars, accounting for 12% of the total revenue, posting a 5.2% year-on-year increase.
The U.S. has become Vietnam's leading trade and investment partner, which has been reflected through impressive trade values between the two countries of recent years.
Bilateral trade has expanded from zero since the day Vietnam and the U.S. normalized their diplomatic ties 20 years ago to $36.3 billion US dollars in 2014. The figure is expected to hit $40 billion in 2015. The U.S. has become Vietnam's largest importer, purchasing garments, electronic products, footwear, rice and fish from the Southeast Asian nation. Vietnam is the world's fifth largest garment textile exporter, and the U.S. remains the country's top market in this field. According to the Ministry of Industry and Trade, among the free trade agreements Vietnam has engaged in, the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement is expected to afford favorable conditions for Vietnamese exports. In the sphere of investment, the U.S. ranked 7th among the countries and territories investing in Vietnam, with a total direct investment of $10.7 billion by June 2015. The U.S. now has more than 720 valid projects in Vietnam.
The central province of Quang Nam welcomed more than 46,000 tourists in the first 3 days of 2016, including 33,000 foreign holidaymakers.
With the UNESCO-recognized Hoi An Ancient Town and My Sơn Sanctuary, along with a 125-kilometer-long coastline with many beautiful beaches, Quang Nam was the most attractive destinations for foreign and domestic tourists during the occasion. The Department of Culture, Sports and Tourism said it has coordinated with localities to diversify tourism products to lure more arrivals to the province, thus promoting sustainable tourism development. In 2012, Hoi An was shortlisted for the top 10 Asian cities in the U.S. magazine Condé Nast Traveler's Reader's Choice Awards. The following year, the UNESCO-recognized World Heritage was chosen for the Townscape Award by the UN Habitat Regional Office in Asia. Meanwhile, My Sơn Sanctuary, once the religious and political capital of the Champa Kingdom, comprises 8 groups of 71 monuments built throughout the 7th to 13th centuries.
Renowned Italian and Belgian artists have recently performed their sand sculpture building skills in Phan Thiết City, the central coastal province of Bình Thuận. Leonardo Ugolini from Italy and Enguerrand David from Belgium created a sculpture named King Kong. At the same time, artists from the Ho Chi Minh City University of Fine Arts built 2 other sand sculptures entitled Mother's Dream and Happiness. This was the first time visitors and local residents have had a chance to watch the making of giant sand artworks performed by professional sculptors in Vietnam. The event's organizer, Nam Việt Bình Thuận Limited Company, said the event from January 1st to the 3rd is a test with the aim of creating a new tourism product for the province. The firm plans to open a sand sculpture park if the activity is welcomed by visitors. Archaeologists have announced their preliminary report from the latest excavations at Vietnam's oldest citadel in Bắc Ninh province. Let's take a look. Luy Lâu Citadel was the heart of the area for 10 centuries, beginning in the 1st century. It is located in modern-day Bắc Ninh province, 45 minutes by car north from Hanoi. Archaeologists from the National Museum of History and Japan's University of East Asia said there were nearly 1,000 broken pieces of outer and inner molds of bronze drums, as well as bronze tanks, which suggests that this could have been a big bronze casting center at Luy Lâu. The purpose of this year's excavation is to define the western wall of the citadel, the northern gate, and work more on the site where broken pieces of the bronze cast molds were found.
I think Japanese experts and their counterparts from the museum should increase their research cooperation to make a more proper assessment on the citadel.
This is the second of a 5-year project conducted by the museum and University of East Asia, where Japanese and Vietnamese researchers carried out joint excavations and issued research reports. And that has to wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye for now.